Today you will learn how to write the linear equations in point-slope form. And this is Chapter 5, Lesson 3, Write Linear Equations in Point-Slope Form. Make sure that you're writing the lesson number, the title, and everything that follows. And copy this down. The point-slope form, the formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And make sure that you have the parentheses for this. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And make sure that your m multiplies everything. And memorize this formula. Focus on question number 8. Write an equation in point-slope form. So that is the question asking you. Write an equation in point-slope form of the line that passes through the given point. You are given a point and you are given the slope m. So the slope m is 3 over 2 and the point is given to you. Now the point-slope form, copy this down to be as y minus y1 equals m, open parenthesis, x minus x1, close parenthesis. Make sure that you have the parentheses or else your formula is not going to be correct. So y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. I'm going to replace my m by 3 over 2. And now my x1, y1. This is my x1, this is my y1. So this is my first point of x, first point of y. In this case, you are only given 1 point. So we're going to take this as y minus, replace y1 by 6 equals, replace m by 3 over 2 and keep the x minus, and x1 you take it as minus 6 and make sure that you are simplifying and also make sure that you are, the formula has a negative sign and x1 also has a negative sign. So watch the two negatives, which turns to be as y minus 6 equals 3 over 2 x, two negatives becomes a positive, and this will be the answer. This is the equation that they are asking you to find. And if I highlight and show you which ones I replaced, m 3 over 2 is what I replaced, y1 6 is what I replaced, and x1 negative 6 is what I replaced. Question number 18. Graph the equation y minus 1 equals 3 over 4 x plus 1. Do not change this to a decimal. Keep it as 3 over 4. So the formula is going to be y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. Please make sure that you are copying the formula and at the same time you are memorizing the formula. Y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. Now watch what I'm going to do. This is this matching. Your slope is matching here and this is matching here. So what I'm asking you guys to do is, if you can pause the video and go and grab a couple of color pencils, that'll be fine. If not, multicolored pens or even crayons will work. So I'm going to ask you guys to box this with the negative sign included, and I'm going to ask you guys to box this. Your y is the same, the equal sign is the same, the x is the same. Everything else is matching. So if you look at the highlighted ones right now, your m takes on 3/4. So which is a straightforward one. So my m is going to be 3 over 4. And now I'm looking at the boxed one on this side and I'm looking at the boxed one on this side. So let me focus on my x value. So negative x1 is equal to positive 1. So this is the same as this. Negative x1 equals positive 1. Now remember, I needed positive x1, so which means I'm going to change the sign here to a positive and change the sign here to a negative. So I got my x value to be as negative 1. And now I am looking at my y value. So my negative y1 is equal to negative 1. You have to match the sign with the sign. you have to take the signs inclusive. So negative y1 is equal to negative 1. So I need a positive. So I'm going to change the sign here to a positive, and I'm going to change the sign here to the positive, reverse the sign. So now my y value is going to be a positive 1. So I have negative 1 comma 1, and I got my slope to be as 3 comma 4. Once I got this, I'm looking at the question. They want me to graph this equation. So these are the two things I got. So I got the point negative 1 comma 1, and I got a slope of 3 over 4. Now what's the way that I'm going to graph this? Negative 1, 1. So this is going to be negative 1 comma 1. So this is my one of my points, negative 1 comma 1. And now I'm using the slope, which is 3 over 4. Now, if you understand the slope in this case is positive, which means the line is going to go up like this. It's a positive slope. So which basically means the line has to go somewhere in this direction. And the top one is your rise, the bottom one is your run. Rise over run. So that means what I'm going to do is this will be my starting point, and I am going to go 1, 2, 3 for my rise, and then run. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is my run. And now I'm going to dot this point. And if I look at my coordinates, this is going to be 1, 2, 3. So 3 meets at 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 comma 4. So that is my second point. And now all I need to do is like connect this point with this point, and you have graphed the equation. Let's focus on question number 22. You are given a graph and you're asked to write an equation in point slope form. Now you got to understand the point slope form to look like y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1. So once you realize the point slope form is this, now y1 and x1, you can take the values from here. You can either take this point or you can take this point. So I'm going to assume my negative 5 comma 4 as my x1 value and my y1 value. So all I need to do is I'm going to replace my y1 by 4 and my x1 by negative 5. So that is straightforward. The only thing I need to do is find my slope, which is m. So looking at the graph, this slopes down. So obviously, in this case, the slope is going to be a negative because this is a negative slope. So once I figured out it's going to be a negative slope, now all I need to do is find the slope using the graph. So I'm going to go rise over run. So here it is, 1, 2, and that is my rise. So my slope is going to be rise over run, and in this case it's going to be 2 over, and my run in this case 1, 2, 3, 4 until I meet my second point. Now make sure that you have a triangle between the first point and the second point. So the first point and the second point, make sure that you have a right triangle. So 1, 2 is my rise, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps is my run, so which simplifies to be as 0.5. Now keep in mind, this is a negative slope, and that is why I'm having it as negative 0.5. My slope is a negative. So I'm replacing m by negative 0.5, y minus, and my y1 value, I'm going to replace it by 4, and x minus x1 is also another negative. So what's the two negatives? So y minus 4 is equal to negative 0.5 x plus 5, and that is the equation they are asking you to write in the point slope form. And that is what we have done. Make sure that you are rewinding this question number 22 again. Watch this question again, and then you rewind it one more time and you solve it on your own and see if you're still able to figure out the same answer.